Well, hello guys, it is that time once again for another edition of Odds and Ends, where I read you some really weird news stories from all over the world, and hey, they don't call it Odds and Ends for a reason, you know? Now, I know that this one is really late, by about maybe a week or so, and I do have the newest edition with me as well, so it's all about the timing. That's all I'm going to say is that, well, it's been really bad timing for these last couple of days that I've had the chance to, but something always comes up at the last minute. So anyways guys, without further ado, let's get to the story, shall we? Now our first story comes out of England, where the UK's Food Standards Agency has ordered upscale market chains Booths to remove all the house brand bags of, quote, wholehearted roasted monkey nuts because the package fails to inform consumers that the product may contain nuts. Monkey nuts is a regional British term for whole peanuts. The supermarkets were selling the nuts in transparent bags, but the Food Standards Agency ruled that the parent company did not do enough to warn the customers with peanut allergies that the bags of peanuts could trigger their peanut allergies. The product has been removed from 29 of the chain's grocery stores, and the company issued a statement to customers, quote, "If you have an allergy to peanuts, do not consume this product and return it to your local store for a full refund." The Director of Clinical Services at Allergy UK told London's Daily Telegraph, "Many people might consider it, quote, barking mad to require bags of nuts to carry a warning on the back that they contain nuts. But that labeling the packages will ensure, quote, there is no doubt that a product contains an allergen." Okay. Don't really have much to say on this one except for the fact that, I don't know why people don't understand that if it says monkey nuts and you're in Britain and that's your term for whole peanuts and people have peanut allergies, why are you buying them? So I'm kind of siding with the people that says you don't have to put a warning label if it contains nuts. But then again, at the same time, I feel like they should at their store, just because not a lot of customers can read. And so if they see that it says may trigger peanut allergies, then if they see that, then it's like, oh, okay, then don't buy it and just skip that and move on. And speaking of moving on, our next story comes out of Florida, where William Daniel Lloyd of Gainesville decided to bag himself a fine Southern dinner by shooting a squirrel with a BB gun. Unconvinced that his Pumpmaster 760 was enough to kill a squirrel, the 31-year-old hunter extraordinaire opted to tape a .40 caliber shell to the barrel of the rifle. His reasoning seemed to be that the BB would strike the casing's primer, igniting the gunpowder and firing the bullet at the intended target. That's not what happened. According to the Gainesville Sun, the quote, "the cartridge discharged and fragmented, striking Lloyd in the upper arm and lower leg. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries." Police charged Lloyd with discharging a firearm in public and possession of ammunition by a convicted felon. Plus, he did not get to eat a squirrel. Okay, dude. You've got to be stupid to think that there's a difference between a firing pin that fires the actual primer in the casing that actually shoots the bullet after the gunpowder is ignited, and using a freaking BB gun which will blow up the cartridge and shatter it all over your cell. It's going to backfire. Obviously you didn't think that one through, so you went with option 2, and look what happened. You went to jail and you're in the hospital and you didn't get to eat your squirrel. So the squirrel lives! And our next story, which also comes out of Florida, where police in St. Petersburg arrested a 34-year-old Jarvis Sutton after he allegedly called 911 operators 80 times, 80 times on Sunday, April 28th. Quote, "The defendant admitted to calling 911 because he wanted Kool-Aid, burgers, and weed to be delivered to him," an officer wrote in his affidavit. Police did not bring the requested items with them, but they did deliver Sutton to the Pinellas County Jail. Arresting officers noted that Sutton must have had a severe case of munchies because he kept chewing on the foam rubber covering attached to the metal caging on the back of the police cruiser. According to the Florida Sun Sentinel, this is Sutton's 7th visit to jail in the last 2 years. Well, on top of being arrested a 7th time and going to jail for the last 2 years, you're also going to get charged with misuse of 911 because you called them 80 times. And on top of that, you were also under the influence of paraphernalia and you wanted Kool-Aid burgers and more weed to be delivered to you. So, way to go, dude. You didn't think that after going to jail 6 times, you would have learned by now. But no, obviously you had to do it again because you're an idiot. And moving on to our final story, which comes out of California, where Salvatore Bevenido, a manager from a biotechnology company in San Francisco, is suing Virgin American Airlines for $500,000 after a flight crew of a westbound plane accused him of not flushing the toilet. Bevenido, Bevevino, that's how I pronounce his last name, I'm saying it wrong, but Bevevino, Salvatore Bevevino, there we go. Claims he was unfairly detained on April 28th following a flight from Philadelphia to San Francisco. According to the lawsuit, trouble started about an hour into the flight when the 52-year-old Bevevino tried to order a soft drink from a flight attendant but was informed he had to do it through the plane's touchscreen entertainment system. Moments later, a second flight attendant came over to discuss the matter. Bevevino made the mistake of trying to get a drink from the second flight attendant. Eventually, a third flight attendant brought Bevevino a soda. According to a police report, however, Bevevino went to the airplane's bathroom a few minutes later and, quote, emerged with a smile on his face. A flight attendant then reportedly, quote, passed by the restroom and saw that Bevevino left the door open and did not flush the toilet. After the plane landed in California, Bevevino was detained for his alleged actions. The pilot said that neither he nor his crew felt threatened by Bevevino. Bevevino denies cursing at the crew during the soft drink ordering dispute and swears he flushed the toilet. He's seeking $500,000 in damages for embarrassment, humiliation, mortification, fright, shock, mental anguish, and emotional distress. Okay, dude. You should have learned how to use the touchscreen, number 1, that way this wouldn't have happened. Number 2, where the hell did you get this whole idea of them, they didn't say anything about you swearing and cussing at them or anything like that, but yeah, you pulled that one out of your butt. But you want $500,000 from them, all for stupid accusations such as embarrassment, humiliation, mortification, fright, shock, mental anguish, and emotional distress. You think you're going to get $500,000 out of that, dude? I don't think so. I wish you luck, and I'm pretty sure there are more eyewitnesses on that plane who are going to go against you, so you ain't going to get diddly squat. So, that's all I'm saying. But anyways, guys, that is it for this edition of Odds and Ends, and I really hope you guys enjoy listening to those stories as much as I like reading them to you. And we will see you very shortly for the next edition. Until next time, we'll see you guys later, and take it easy.